So I think we'll go ahead and kick it off and get started. Welcome everyone to our presentation on ServiceNow Optimized to give you a little bit of preview of what is going to be coming June 9th. I am Tom Burns. I'm the Associate Director of IT Support Services. And on the call with us, when they'll introduce themselves as they start talking and doing their part of the presentation, we have the Chancellor's office with us. And I also do want to say thank you to our ServiceNow team on our campus, which is Francine, who's on the call, and also Amy Marbach and Scott Rush. They're also working behind the scenes to get us ready for June 9th for moving forward with ServiceNow. So we want to start off with kind of why the change of moving from our current system of Team Dynamics over into ServiceNow. And one of the main reasons why is to improve the user experience of you all submitting tickets to IT and getting the requests and the help that you need from us. One thing that I know has kind of become normal culture and language when it comes to submit an IT ticket is immediately followed up by the question of which ticket. So that is something we want to kind of change with the culture here and just make it very easy for you. So we'll just be having one form moving forward that you would need to submit in a case. And it's actually okay if you don't know some of the questions, you can still submit it and it'll get routed to the right area without necessarily needing to know all the answers right away, but it definitely gets the request in the door with us. And also with moving over into Optimize, which is powered by ServiceNow. Optimize is utilizing the Chancellor's office and their instance and their resources and expertise in it to really help simplify our processes and kind of be streamlined with the rest of the CSU system, as there are other universities using ServiceNow as well. And also one exciting thing that is kind of already in the works now to be launched relatively soon is the CSU tuition waiver form, which is a great example of how we can utilize the same platform across the system and not need to jump from one system to the next system. Yes, Tony.
I didn't realize that I raised my hand. I don't have any questions. Okay. I don't know how that happened.
Phantom ghosts. So then, as I've kind of mentioned before, some general notable changes. There will just be one form that you submit for a case to IT to get help. Some things that will also be changing is that on June 9th, we're going to be making the switch, and you'll see some transition of some things in Team Dynamics that you do have access to now, won't be there moving forward, and we'll send out a more formal communication to the campus about those specific dates and deadlines of when those things are going to be happening. And also some things that will continually be changing on is getting feedback from you all on how can we actually improve the system and kind of do continual training for the campus on how to use this service. And continue on having future improvements with the system. So now I will pass it over to the Chancellor's office with Chris to do their part of the presentation.
Thanks, Tom. Let me share my screen here. All right. So before I talk about what ServiceNow is, just wanted to introduce our team. So my name is Chris O'Connell. I'm the Associate Director of Productivity Services at the Chancellor's Office. So our team has a bunch of different productivity tools that we support to help people transform their business processes or workflows into a really good user experience using these tools. So, and ServiceNow is one of those tools. With me, I have Mitchell Slocum. He is our lead enterprise architect for ServiceNow, and he's going to be providing a demo of the main interface that you all will use to request service through this system towards the end. So first we can start off with what is ServiceNow. So ServiceNow is a cloud-based system, and it's really designed to help organizations manage requests for services. The platform can handle requests of all kinds. On June 9th, it will be going live at Monterey Bay to handle IT requests, but it's not uncommon that ServiceNow can handle other kinds of requests, such as maybe someone has a question or needs some help getting something from HR or from a registrar's office. So those sorts of things can also be tracked in ServiceNow, and many organizations use the tool to do that. In the future, other groups or departments at Monterey Bay might use ServiceNow or Optimize to manage some of their requests. And if you're interested in that, maybe we can talk about that some more. And the platform is really flexible. We found that it can be adapted in a lot of different ways to meet different needs for the campuses. ServiceNow is heavily used around the world. It's really considered an industry leader in service management. It's used by government organizations, nonprofits, public and private sector. Even Microsoft, which is a competitor, uses ServiceNow to manage their own service requests for help. So that really kind of says a lot about how powerful and good this tool is about managing help requests and service requests. Across the CSU, 9 of our 23 campuses use ServiceNow for their primary IT ticketing needs, and the Chancellor's office. So there are 10 organizations within the system using ServiceNow. And at the bottom of this slide, you will see a pie chart. And basically what to take away from this is that just in the Chancellor's office last year, we managed 115,000 requests to do something through ServiceNow. So what is Optimize? So a few years ago, the Chancellor's office started hearing a desire from campuses for a shared service management offering. And so we began to build Optimize on the ServiceNow platform. So Optimize is just a branded version of ServiceNow. When you log in, you won't see ServiceNow anywhere. You'll see Optimize. So it's just based on the ServiceNow platform. And it's been set up to accommodate campus service delivery needs while also aligning with industry best practices and standards for service delivery. We've really been intentional about making sure that the user experience is clean and that everything is really easy to fill out and easy to find. And you'll see that when Mitchell demos it. So we went live with Optimize in January of 2025. And we have been moving various system-facing services into Optimize since January. And going forward, any system-wide request for service will be moved into Optimize. And a couple of examples for you already, the tuition fee waiver process, which has already gone live with 3 pilot campuses, is in Optimize right now. And congratulations to Monterey Bay on being one of the first 3 campuses to start using this tool for their tuition fee waivers. This is a really cool program. I think you're going to really like it once you see it and start using it. And the second one that's soon to go live is the IFT, or Interagency Financial Transaction Process. That is the process that's used to track and assist transfers of about $5.5 billion around the CSU every year. So if any of you have ever tried to fill out an IFT process, currently it's a very clunky manual process built in SharePoint. We've modified and replaced it, and we're going live with that in July in Optimize. So the more of these system-wide services that we build out, they'll just automatically show up for you. You won't have to go figure out where to look for them. They'll just be available to you through Optimize. And Mitchell will show you how to get to some of those in a few moments. And then the reason that we chose to call it Optimize is it's not just a label, but it's a reflection of the CSU's commitment to continuous improvements. So that's why we picked the name Optimize. So as Tom mentioned, Monterey Bay will be going live on Optimize on June 9th. And at that time, all campus students, faculty, and staff will have access to what's called the Employee Center. And that's going to make up the core of what Mitchell demos in a few minutes. The Employee Center is essentially a one-stop shop to request help and find information. The second item that Monterey Bay will have is called case management. So you'll have the ability to open a case, which is just a request for service or help. And as of June 9th, you'll have access to cases where you can open a case to request help from IT, and also to the tuition fee waiver application program as well. And then the third piece of Optimize that's available for Monterey Bay is knowledge bases. So knowledge bases are a powerful way to document how-tos, help documents, frequently asked questions, and they all kind of show up and are available to you as you navigate the Optimize interface. So if you're searching for a commonly asked question, you might be able to find a knowledge base article about that. So again, Mitchell will demo all of this, so you'll get to see it in real time. A few important things to remember about the Employee Center is that it's a centralized portal for campus-specific and system-wide requests. So it will adapt to what you should be able to see. So you won't see a request from a different campus or something that you shouldn't be able to. It's all very dynamic and shows you exactly what you need to be able to see. It provides a consistent and streamlined interface to find information and request help. And it makes the knowledge base articles that we talked about a little bit earlier easily available to you. And then a quick overview of case management. Mitchell will show you how to open a case through the Employee Center. But cases are really just a request for help or service. The cases, having a case allows you to track the life cycle of the request and communicate and stay informed about your request throughout the entire process. And it also allows you just to communicate back and forth with the agent who is assisting you in the case as well. And here's the timeline. I think Tom kind of mentioned this earlier. June 9th is when we plan to go live. And between now and June 9th, we're still doing some technical configuration to optimize. We're also doing some testing and training and populating the knowledge bases. The week of June 9th, we plan to have Mitchell and Lou from our team here at the Chancellor's office on site to provide support, or what we call hypercare. And for those 2 days, Julia, Felix, and I will, from our team, will also be available remotely to assist with anything that we need to. And then for the whole week of June 9th, we plan to be available full-time to you to support that onboarding. And then about a month after you go live, we'll start to train your Optimize admins on how to start creating some solutions specific to your campus. So we might find that maybe you need something that's like a, I don't know, an HR onboarding request or something that has multiple steps. So we can start to work with your campus on setting up some more complex uses. So before I hand it over to Mitchell to do a demo, I am just going to pause and see if anyone has any questions. And if you do, maybe you can raise your hand. I'm not able to easily see the chat right now. Okay, it doesn't look like there are any questions. Let me stop sharing my screen and I'll hand it over to you, Mitchell.
Thanks, Chris. I'll go ahead and share my screen. So I'm going to be demoing really quickly at a high level, Optimize Employee Center. I believe you should be able to see my screen now. So as Chris kind of mentioned, the Employee Center within Optimizer, it's a ServiceNow service offering that allows you to facilitate support for your organization, regardless of department or where it falls in different various business units. Well, what ServiceNow found, as well as we found at the Chancellor's office, was that as folks onboarded new groups and other IT or non-IT groups, and you ended up with this sprawling support model where you had more than one portal to go get help. I need help from facilities, I go here. I need help from HR, I go there. I need help from IT, I go over here. So what ServiceNow came out with as well, and we're adopting, is the Employee Center model, where we take all those different items that might be various portals originally, and we consolidate it into a one-stop shop experience using this Employee Center service offering from ServiceNow. What this does is it uses a topic taxonomy structure, which allows you to have a mega menu across the top. We are doing business units across the top in this case, and these topics will hide or show dynamically depending on what campus you're from or what your affiliation is. So in the future, for example, we might have forms that are specific to just MPPs, and those forms would not be available or be visible to non-MPPs. And these topics, if you don't have access to content within a topic, would hide. So for example, I click on human resources, and this is showing a system-wide example. We have the tuition fee waiver, which will just be natively in your Employee Center portal for staff and faculty at Monterey Bay, since you will be using Optimize for case management. In the future, you might start using some service requests for defined processes, such as maybe a phone request. And while those could initiate and start with a case, those also might be something where you might directly start with it on a specific form. But the beauty of case management is we are able to spin off service requests from cases, meaning if you don't know what you need, you can always still submit that case to support and they can help navigate it to the right location. So these topics items will hide or show. We do have others topics that are just not showing because we don't have content in them yet. Across the top, we also have the my tasks, my requests, and my favorites. I'll get to those in a bit, but just keep in mind, Optimize Employee Center is the landing page for staff, faculty, and students at Monterey Bay, as well as system-wide audiences. So real quick, I'm gonna go ahead and just do a search. I did show how we can use the topics across the top to go to a specific item, but we can also use this search. This search will search knowledge articles as well as any forms. So for example, I searched the word phone and I found 5 items. I found 1 request form. This is a demo item. This is not going to be available to Monterey Bay out the gate. This is just showing an example. We also have articles. So from here, maybe you'll find a self-help article that your campus has developed and kind of walks you through how to do something. So maybe you don't need to submit a case. Maybe you can just quickly find the answer you're looking for right away. So that's the power of the search here. And then we have quick links, and this is the create a case button. So I'll go ahead and click there. This is also available under technology service and create a case. We're trying to make it easy to find in a few different locations, all navigating to the same form. This will be populating with your campus by default. I'm still working through that item, but here we also have, so the default, we have a few required fields. We've tried to streamline it and make it simple. The requested by, which is who's submitting it and who the contact is for this case. The campus, because keep in mind, this is a system-wide tool. By default, this will populate with your campus, so you probably won't have to change anything. Service is an optional field that if you know a specific service that you're asking for help with, it can help with routing and actual initial routing. So in this case, if I know I'm submitting a case for Optimize, I can select Optimize, and that would actually bypass your help desk and go straight to the Optimize support team, saving you some time and streamlining that support. In this case, I'm going to go ahead and clear that out. We're not going to put one right now. I'm going to submit an example case and just say that maybe I got a new phone and I need to add my new phone to the multi-factor. I need to be able to, like, when I log in, type in my code or approve the push. I want to say I saw Monterey Bay is using Okta. So I'm going to just say my example case here is update my phone for Okta. I'm going to say I got a new phone. I need help enrolling it in MFA. So multi-factor authentication, meaning when you log in, it'll pop up and you'll click accept or you'll type in your code. This is an example of a type of case that could be submitted. We do also have this save as draft feature at the top. So on maybe this form, you probably won't have to, but maybe a fee waiver form, you might see that it's longer. So you might want to come back to it later. And that's the beauty of save as draft. One thing I didn't show, I'm just going to go ahead and copy this out and hit backspace. You'll see over here on the right-hand side, this is required information, description, and all required fields are designated with a red asterisk. And as you populate information, you'll see that I put that in, it disappears on the right-hand side, saying there's no more fields left. You can add attachments to a case. You can, when you submit a case, so maybe you have an Excel spreadsheet or screenshots. Oh, screenshots are always great for support teams. So you can add them here initially. You can also have the ability to go back and add attachments later. So if you forget, or maybe you're working with the team, you can always provide new screenshots later on in the process as well. I'm gonna go ahead and just press submit. And when I press submit, I am redirected to the case form. And from here, I can always get back to this and I'll show that in a minute, but this is just the default landing page after you press submit. You have a couple actions here, or at least one action right now. I can close it. So maybe I submitted it and I no longer need it. Maybe I submitted it and wouldn't you know it, I found out the solution like 2 minutes later. You can go ahead and close it, and then the team won't be reaching out to you. Maybe save yourself that back and forth. This is also where you'll go, and I can't show it right now, but part of the case resolution process is your team will propose a solution, and you'll have 5 days to either accept or reject that solution. After 5 days, if you don't reply, it'll automatically accept the solution. But this actions here would then show accept or reject, and there's also a method for accepting or rejecting proposed solutions for cases within your email. But just know you can always come back to this form pretty easily. This is also where we have activity. This is where you can write notes back and forth with support. I can say, My new phone is an iPhone. Hopefully you provide more detail than that, but I can go ahead and press send and it will add that to the notes. Oh, I'm working through those. You can ignore those for now. What this does here is allows you to communicate back and forth. This would also send an email to the assigned to or the case agent, letting them know that you've left communication. They can reply either back to the email they receive or back within their ticket on or case on their side as a fulfiller. And you'll see they'll be able to reply back in the notes would show here for you, as well as you will get an email saying a comment has been added, where you can also click a link and navigate back to this page if you'd like, or you can just reply back to that email. So other than activity, we also have attachments. And this is where you can go back and add new attachments. Or if I had added attachment, I could see what attachments were previously added. If support adds attachments, you'll be able to see the attachment support has added to the case from here as well. And you can also go ahead and click the paperclip and navigate and find it, or you can drag and drop files in from here as well. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and navigate over back to the home page. I'm going to go quickly over a couple more things. Now that we've submitted a case, you can actually see over here on the right-hand side on requests, I can see that I actually submitted that. I can just click here. And it's going to take me right back to where I was. So I can always find that case again quickly. Because this is a Employee Center is a shared portal for different support teams. The beauty of it is you can see all your requests from other items in one place. So for example, if I had submitted a tuition fee waiver so I can attend classes, I could actually see the status of my request also right here under active items right here. Then I can click on it and I can see the details of what I submitted as well. Let's go ahead and navigate back. Another item that you might see in the future if you're an MPP would be approvals. So imagine one of your employees is applying for the fee waiver, and that does require a manager approval if it is not for a dependent. So I can, under my tasks, either down here I can click on it, or I can click on it right up here with the little number 1. I can see I actually have an approval record. And from here, I can either accept or reject, approve or reject this approval, and I can click the details tab, and your managers from this portal will be able to see all the details that were submitted for that fee waiver request. And this is also where they can go to approve or reject. Beauty of this as well is they can always click on completed and see items they've previously completed as well, or approved or rejected as well. You can also click on my requests, which will take you back to all of the items you've submitted, regardless of record type. So in case we have a general case here, we have a fee waiver request here, we have an IT internal incident here. We also have a service request for a specific process that I have in here that you can see all of them in one place, making it easy to find your support regardless of what team you're getting support from. This is also where you can find your drafts after you've submitted a draft or saved your draft. And I can also go ahead and click here, and instead of viewing open items, I can view closed requests. And that will show me all the previous items I've opened and worked with support on. So maybe you've worked with support and you want to go back and find something. You would just go to my requests, closed, and then change this to closed requests, and you'd be able to find all the records you've previously submitted. Let's go ahead and go back here. We also have this recommended for you section, which will update as you use the Employee Center portal. It will kind of know what you're looking for. One other powerful feature is the ability to favorite. So I click favorite here. So maybe there's like a knowledge article you're going to go back to all the time and you don't want to add it to your bookmarks. You just want one for Employee Center. You can just favorite it here at the top, click on favorites. And you can see in this case, I have 2 articles favorited and 4 requests favorited, but they're all showing up in one place. So I can find maybe there's a certain form or process I'm going to submit often. And you can just favorite it within the Employee Center portal as well. That's about all I had at this point to demo for the Optimize Employee Center portal. Does anyone have any questions?
Mitchell, I work in different areas, subtotal, CMS, and a variety I work with the directory data and things. To look up at maybe a ticket that had been submitted to get additional information, would I be able to use like an incident number, even though the ticket was not mine?
As of right now, the Employee Center is scoped to only view the requests that you are the requester on or you've been watch listed on, which means you're
Right.
kept informed on. So as of right now, that's all you'd be able to see, and you'd be able to do searching from within open and closed requests here to find those if they've been submitted and optimized.
Because I use the ServiceNow with SumTotal And when I put in an incident number right now, I can go ahead and usually I'm mentioned in it, not necessarily, well, maybe I am on the notification list, but I just was wondering if that was an option.
They haven't moved from our existing ServiceNow instance yet, but actually what the beauty of that is system-wide learning will actually be on the path to migrate into here. So when you're working with, I believe that's Chris Fondacaro's team,
Yeah.
is who you're
Yes.
talking about, Pauline,
Yes,
that
Pauline
group.
Delgado and Nancy is my people. Yeah.
Yes, that group, you will actually be able to submit those requests in the future. They'll also be through Optimize. So that's kind of the beauty of this, is
Fantastic.
all those system-wide items that you work on, you'll be able to do your campus-specific items as well as your system-wide items. And all the forms and even knowledge articles can be scoped to various people based off of affiliation, campus, who they are. So you'll be able to find those items all within Employee Center once we bring that group in.
Oh,
But as of right
fantastic.
now, that is segmented off into the existing instance. So you'd have to
Yeah.
search for those still over there.
Okay. Good to know. Thank you.
Any other questions before I stop my screen share? Perfect. All right, Chris or Tom, I'll pass it back to one of you.
I think at this point, I just want to say thank you for coming, and we could probably stop the recording now. So if there are any questions that anyone wants to ask while we're not recording, we can do that. So thank you for attending and watching this. If you're watching this